Time for more on UATV English. You ask hard questions, we answer in easy terms. The question of the week has been sent by our viewer Craig3949. And the question sounds like this. These ships are cheap? Why they let them get sunk so easy? Oh my, please let me be more specific today. The question deserves it. All right. Let us all start with a beautiful reminiscence of a flagship named Moscow that went down to the bottom of the Black Sea after it was hit by a Ukrainian missile. A missile fired from the shore, by the way. So again, if you, just like me, are not much of an expert in marine combat tactics and strategy, even so, you must simply logically be absolutely sure a giant flagship should not be sent to the Bikini Bottom by an outnumbered and out-armed enemy. And if it is the case, well, then something is very wrong with Mother Russia. And I can tell you what exactly. Nobody cares about Russians in Russia. Yes, you heard me just right. We in Ukraine expect nothing but hatred and genocide and awful war crimes from Russia because for centuries we know what Russia is. And only in February 2022, the world joined us and started to, way too slowly, if you ask me, to understand what we always knew. Russians do not care about life in general. Any life. Russian life in particular. Remember what Putin said about a Russian sub Kursk after a foreign journalist asked him what happened to a submarine.
Она утонула.
She sank. A goddamn nuclear super-duper high-tech modern submarine just sank. Like that. And after it did, the Kremlin never even allowed any international help to save those trapped mariners who could have been saved, but were doomed by Putin personally, who sentenced them for excruciating death for days trapped on 100 meters down below sea surface. I wonder what these Russian mariners were thinking about Putin personally. The very moment they understood what we in Ukraine always knew. Not him, Putin, nor Mother Russia give a damn about their lives. And Russians never even considered what happened a spit to the face of the nation. Maybe that means there is no face. In fact, some even liked it. They were fond of Putin's Tsarek humor. After all, a sub did sink, right? I guess. Remember Joseph Stalin? One who murdered tens of millions of Russians in terrible death camps and prisons. Well, go Google it and listen to what modern Russians are saying these days about him. About a man who murdered millions of them. It turns out Stalin was not at all a bloodthirsty monster, but a dictator or a psychopathic dictator. No, Stalin was a great manager with a strong hand. And this is exactly why they, Russians, love Putin, because he's Stalin-like. So you see, dear Craig3949, it is not about Russian warships being so cheap that the Kremlin does not care about it in particular. No, the Kremlin does not care about Russia in general. It's not Russian warships, it's Russian lives that are cheap. And Russians just accept it. And this is exactly why they're going to lose not only this war, but their own future. Well, that seems to be all, folks, for tonight and for the week. For news on Ukraine, please stay with Ukraine. It was me, Henry Keane, in UATV English studio, breaking the hard truth, easy terms for the whole free world, directly from Ukraine. We like you, and we hope the feeling is mutual, so please, like us in return, subscribe and share, help us to promote Ukrainian voice worldwide. Stay safe and tune for more right already tomorrow with me and my dear colleagues of UATV English. Goodbye.